Hello, this is Mr. Brown. This podcast is of a CNT140 class. This is our second podcast on our cable certification lab. What we're going to do, or I should say, the last lab we did, we set up our meter and calibrated it so we could perform a cable certification run on one of our horizontal cable runs. We then actually hooked the meter up to the horizontal cable run, scanned it, saved the results so we could download them. What I'm going to do in this lab now is walk you through how to connect your meter to your desktop so we can download, view, and print your results. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the USB cable from the meter to my desktop, which I've done. I'm then going to, on my meter, do the press F2, F3. This puts it in USB mode, which I've already done. Now on my desktop, I'm going to launch LandTech Reporter software. So on my desktop, I'm looking for this little icon here. Looks like a meter. I'm going to launch that. This is the software that talks to the meter so I can highlight my result, download it, print it, etc. I'm going to select the icon on the top that allows me to find my results. I'm going to pick the option for select. I'm going to make sure I'm on USB mode. I'm going to say OK. It's going to remind me to make sure I'm in USB mode, which I am. I'm then going to get an option. This might take a second for it to find the meter and find the results, so don't panic if it does. I'm now going to select my option. Well, I'm going to look for the cable runs that I did, room network certification, and I did port 27 on my little patch panel here. So I'm going to select that. You would select multiple if you and your partners did this. I'll say OK. It's going to download that result. Again, that does take a little bit of time, so if you're downloading 4, don't panic if it takes a couple seconds. Here is my test result. As you say, you know, there was the test or the scan I just did a couple minutes ago in the other podcast. What I can do now is double click on this run, and this will bring up a whole window with different tabs of different data I can look at. Here's my wire map, all 8 wires straight through. That's what I should be seeing. This gives me data on my pairs, return loss, neuron crosstalk, attenuation, etc. One of the things I definitely want you to look at is look at the neuron crosstalk tab, and down at the bottom I'll click the little graph button. And this is actually going to build me a graph of my neuron crosstalk test, and click my summary here, and it shows all wire pairs. And as we discussed in class, what we want to see is our signal nice and strong up here, 100% if you will, 100 decibels, 100% so to speak, in our brain. It's nice and strong. Any crosstalk is showing that the signal is jumping to another wire pair, so it's getting weak. So we don't want it weakening so far that it falls below the threshold, the limit here. So this kind of looks backwards to most people, but here is a nice strong signal. Here's a weak signal, nice strong signal with no crosstalk, if you will. The more crosstalk I get, the weaker the signal gets, the weaker the signal gets until it falls below my threshold. So I have some crosstalk here, but I'm still on this cable run, this scan, I'm still okay. I don't have too much crosstalk. So make sure you look at this chart and see what it looks like so you can see this idea of a nice strong number is what I should be looking for on my neuron crosstalk test. Don't try to print this. Our printers don't seem to like printing these too well, but you can at least look at it for now. Once I've done that, look at your data, get a little feel for your cable run. I'm going to close that out. The other thing I need to do is actually print my results. So the last part of this lab, I show you how to, I talk you through how to print this. What I want to do is I'm going to right click on here and select my test. I'm then going to click the print option here on the top. And what I want to do is a brief report. I don't want to do the summary data. I just want to do a brief report. And then make sure I send it to the appropriate printer and say print. And what that should give me is something along this lines. It actually has about 6 more charts down here, but it shows me my cable run pass, and it gives me all the data about the cable run, and then it shows me in about 6 little charts down here what my cable run looked like. In real life, we would print out 2 copies of this, if you will, one for our company and one for the customer, put it in a binder, and this is the beginning of their documentation. So this is one of the last things I'm going to have you do in this lab. Pull up your results like this and print them out for submission with the lab. All right? So there real quickly is how to do the download, view, and print your results on your meter. There's the end of your cable certification lab.